So coming up to standing. Actually, I'm going to turn my little heater off because I will get warm. I know that. Saving electricity. So who can afford to run a heater these days? All right, now coming on up. I've got my feet about right hip width apart or thereabouts, so they're not right together, right? When our feet are close together, we have a very narrow base of support, and just a little knock or a bit of a movement can topple us over kind of easily. If you have your feet a little bit wider apart, we've got a greater base of support and probably more of ability to sense what's happening underneath our feet. So see if you can get your feet flat on the floor and get a sense of where your weight is on your feet. And then keeping your feet down, we're not going to lift our heels just yet. We're just going to shift the weight forward, right? So keeping my heels down, I'm shifting onto my toes, and then I'm going to shift my weight back onto my heels. So I'm going to shift forward and then shift back. So starting with a small, gentle movement. Now, again, if you're standing, I mean, it's not okay to stand and play with weight here in the middle of the room. Hold on to a wall, hold on to a stick. Hi, Christine, I can see your face. You've got to move now. And go forward and back, right? Hold on to a chair. Forward and back. Now, as you do this movement, shifting your weight forward and backwards, you can start to bend your knees some more. You can start to bring your arms into it. You can start to bend at your hips, right? Move your bottom backwards, move your bottom forwards, or move your hips back, move your hips forward, right? Play with the movement of your body. How can you make a greater range, but we're still keeping our feet down flat on the floor? Right? I'm finding it relatively difficult, right, to try and show you some good movement without lifting my toes because I'm so used to doing that. I'm going to do a few more of these, right? Maybe curl into yourself, reach on out nice and long, curl, right? Extend. So we're thinking a small shape, a greater shape. I'll do 3 more. 2. Last one. Lift up tall. And then once I'm nice and tall, I'm going to shift my weight from side to side. So that was forward and backwards. And now side to side. One foot to the other foot. And again, I'm keeping my feet flat on the floor or flat-ish. They've got natural curves in them. Right? Side to side. The side, right? So onto one foot, weight onto my other foot. One and the other. And I tend to use my hands a little bit too when I'm talking. You can add your arms in or not. Right, a few more of these on each side. 2, right, transferring weight. Last one. Now that continuing transferring weight from foot to foot is going to help me now lift one heel. Now I am going to lift a foot and then put it down and lift the other one. So it's like a little bit of a walking on the spot. My toes stay down and I'm rolling through my foot, lifting one up, lifting the other one up, lifting, lifting. Right, so I'm shifting the weight. When we're walking, we're shifting the weight from one leg to the other leg. So this is a sort of pseudo walking on the spot. Now, this could be enough just doing a heel lift, or we can add a little bit more oomph into that. Can you think that there's like something underneath your heel and you're just going to press it down quick, right? Lift up your other heel. You're going to like actually start more really light, lift one heel up and then drop it down and then lift and then drop the other one. Lift, right? Drop, lift, drop. Right, so you're going to press, stomp, 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 right? Heels dropping and lifting straight up. So they're bouncing off the floor, or you can stay slow. You can add more of a bounce or a rebound off the floor kind of movement. Bounce, bounce, bounce. You can get faster and maybe lighter. So you're just making a very brief contact with the floor, or you can go slow and easy. I'm finding a bit of a balance challenge here. And then you can either keep doing that or both heels together. Bounce, 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 and maybe take a little hop. Right, so any range that works for you. Another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and pause. And then see what you feel through your feet, through your legs. Do you get some sort of sensation? I get a bit of a tingly sensation from I'm thinking from my ankles up actually. That doesn't necessarily have to relate to you. Alrighty, so we've done a little bit of transfer weight from one foot to the other. Take your weight onto one foot, and this is where you might want to hold on to something, right, for a bit of support, like a chair or your wall. And we're going to do slide one foot forward and slide it back, right, slide it across the floor. Now, if you've done this class with me before, you've done this plenty of times, right? So it's a great balance exercise. Maybe you lift rather than slide and tap, right? So we're learning to balance on the one leg. We're now going to make figure 8 movements, right, with that leg. If it's not okay, you can keep sliding backwards and forwards. Right, so it's a relatively small one. Can you see I'm going across my body, out around, little circle in front, back in, and a little circle behind me. Now, that can remain as small as you'd like it to be, or you can start to make a bigger movement, right? So again, a circle in front, a circle behind, in front, behind. Now I've got to get away from my chair. If I want to make a bigger movement, I can lean a bit more into it. You play, right? If I was holding onto a wall, it would be with my other hand. I started on my wrong leg to show you holding on. As you know, this standing leg has been doing so much work. So I'm going to do 2 more of these, which will be enough for me. All right. Oh, and pause. Maybe give this other leg a little bit of a shake. And then let's switch legs and do those movements. So I'm starting now on my left foot. I'm going to slide my right leg forward and back, forward and back. Right? So I'm making contact with the floor, which is giving me a little bit of extra feedback, which is assisting with my balance. You can tap rather than slide. Or you can start with those figure 8 movements. Now, when I'm doing this, I don't know how well you can see that. My thigh bone is rotating, right? My entire leg is moving around, right, in my hip socket. Right, circle forward, circle backwards. You know what? I was thinking it was Friday. It's only Tuesday or Monday for you. For some reason, I'm thinking, oh, I don't have this class next week, but yes, I do. All right. Whoa. Okay, so here is where, like, holding on to something is a really great tool. I'm still getting the movement in my legs, but now I don't have to worry so much about balance. So it's good both ways, right? Being able to play with balance or supporting yourself so you can find more of that concentrated movement. Let's do 2 more of these, and then my legs will need a break. Okay, step